Some prayers carry a power we don't immediately recognize. They appear simple at first, yet they hold keys to hidden blessings and divine interventions. This prayer to Archangel Michael is one of those rare treasures, one not often spoken about, but capable of bringing breakthroughs in surprising ways. It connects us to God's protection and guidance in ways we didn't know we needed, unlocking solutions that were hidden from view. Sometimes the answer comes in unexpected forms, showing us that God works beyond what we can understand. When we call upon Archangel Michael, we invite more than just protection from visible troubles. Michael's mission is to go deeper, revealing blessings we didn't think to ask for, and breaking chains we didn't know were holding us back. He sees not only what we face on the surface, but also the invisible challenges standing in our way. This prayer draws his intervention into areas that need healing and renewal, helping us discover new paths and opportunities where before we saw none. Prepare your heart for surprises as we enter this time of prayer together. God's answers don't always come in the way we expect, but they are always exactly what we need. As we lift our voices to heaven, asking for Michael's guidance and strength, remain open to the ways in which God might move. The solutions may not look familiar at first, but they carry the power to change everything. With faith and expectation, let us step forward into this sacred space, knowing that blessings are on their way, even the ones we never saw coming. Some blessings arrive disguised, hidden in circumstances that at first seem ordinary or even challenging. We often ask God for help in specific areas, but his answers can surprise us by appearing in ways we didn't expect. Scripture reminds us, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no human mind has conceived the things God has prepared for those who love him." 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. This prayer invites Archangel Michael to reveal these hidden blessings, bringing light to opportunities we might have missed and gifts we weren't even aware of needing. Michael's presence acts as a guide, uncovering the treasures God has stored for you, treasures that have been waiting for the right time to appear. These blessings may come as renewed friendships, sudden opportunities, or even through difficulties that open unexpected doors. His task is to awaken your heart to receive the good that is already unfolding, even if it arrives in unfamiliar forms. Michael, I lift my heart to you now and ask that you open my eyes to the gifts God has already placed around me. Shine your light on every hidden opportunity that I have overlooked, and guide me to receive these blessings with gratitude. Awaken my spirit to see God's goodness, even when it comes in unexpected ways. Help me, Archangel Michael, to walk with faith, trusting that God is working even in areas where I see no progress. Let every hidden blessing come to light, and may I receive them with joy. Break through the barriers of doubt and fear that keep me from recognizing God's provision, and fill me with gratitude for what is already unfolding. As you pray, notice the gentle stirring of peace in your heart, knowing that the answers you seek are already in motion. Some blessings will reveal themselves slowly, like the sunrise breaking over the horizon, while others may come in sudden bursts. Trust in the process, and let Michael continue to guide you into the fullness of God's provision. Now let us turn to the next step of our prayer, asking Michael to break invisible chains that have held us back from receiving the freedom and blessings God has promised. Many of the obstacles we encounter in life are not physical. They are spiritual or emotional chains that remain hidden but hold us back. These chains might take the form of unhealthy patterns, fear, shame, or memories that continue to limit our growth. Sometimes we don't even realize we are bound by them until the effects appear as frustration, stagnation, or self-doubt. The Bible reminds us, "So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed." John chapter 8, verse 36. This freedom is what we seek as we call on Michael to break these invisible chains. Michael's sword is not only a weapon of defense, but also a tool for liberation. His task is to identify the chains that bind you, whether they are rooted in past wounds, toxic relationships, or lies that have taken root in your mind. With divine precision, he cuts through these limitations, freeing you to move forward into the life God has prepared for you. Michael, I surrender to you every invisible chain that holds me captive. Break the grip of fear that has wrapped around my heart. Cut the cords of shame, regret, and doubt that have held me in place for too long. Let your sword of light sever every bond that does not come from God. Release me from the patterns that no longer serve God's purpose in my life. Set me free from the weight of the past and open my heart to receive the future God has prepared. I walk in faith, knowing that with each prayer the chains are falling away and I am stepping into freedom. As you pray, feel the release begin. The burdens you carried are being lifted, and a new lightness fills your spirit. Some chains take time to fully dissolve, but the process has already begun. Each step forward brings you closer to the life God intends, a life free from limitation, full of promise, and ready to embrace all that lies ahead. Now that we have asked Michael to break the chains holding us back, let us invite divine help to arrive exactly when it is needed, trusting that God's timing is perfect. There are moments in life when help arrives in ways that feel almost too perfect to be a coincidence. These are the moments when God's timing aligns so precisely that it feels like heaven itself has stepped in at the exact second you needed relief. As Scripture reminds us, He has made everything beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11. Through Michael's intercession, we receive not only help, but also the reassurance that God's timing is never too early or too late. It is always right on time. Michael works to align your life with God's perfect plan, ensuring that every piece falls into place at just the right moment. Sometimes, divine help arrives at the last possible second, just when you thought hope was lost. Other times, it comes quietly, through unexpected people or events. No matter the form, Michael's presence assures us that God's help will never fail. Michael, I ask that you bring God's help to me in the exact moment I need it. Align my life with God's timing and open my heart to trust in His plan. Let me be patient in waiting and quick to act when the moment arrives. Surround me with the people, opportunities, and answers that God has prepared for me. Guard my heart from anxiety as I wait, and fill me with peace, knowing that divine help is already on its way. When the time comes, give me the wisdom to recognize it and the courage to walk through the doors God opens. As you pray, feel the tension of waiting begin to ease. With Michael guiding you, you can rest assured that the right help will arrive exactly when it is needed. God's timing may not always match your expectations, but it is always perfect. Let this peace settle in your heart as you prepare for the blessings that are unfolding, knowing that you are being guided by heaven itself. Sometimes the paths we need to walk are hidden from view, concealed by fear, uncertainty, or distractions. There are seasons when no matter how hard we search, the way forward remains unclear. Yet Scripture promises us, I will lead the blind by ways they have not known. Along unfamiliar paths I will guide them. I will turn the darkness into light before them and make the rough places smooth. Isaiah chapter 42, verse 16. Archangel Michael's mission is to uncover these hidden paths and guide us along the way, even when the road seems invisible at first. Michael opens doors that were once locked, revealing opportunities and solutions that were hidden just out of sight. His presence brings clarity to what seemed uncertain and illuminates the steps you need to take. Sometimes, the way forward involves walking through unfamiliar terrain, but with Michael by your side, you can walk boldly, knowing that each step is divinely guided. Even when the path is not easy, He ensures that it will lead you toward God's best for your life. Michael, open the paths that God has prepared for me but that I have not yet seen. Remove the obstacles that cloud my vision and guide my steps with precision. Where there is confusion, bring clarity. Where there is fear, bring courage. Help me walk confidently, trusting that each step is leading me closer to God's purpose. Illuminate every hidden door that I am meant to walk through. If I have missed opportunities out of fear or hesitation, bring them back into my path. Guide me to see what God has already placed before me, and give me the strength to walk through every door with faith. I trust that with you by my side, I will find my way, no matter how hidden it may seem. As you pray, allow yourself to let go of the fear of missing out on opportunities or making the wrong choice. Trust that God's plan is unfolding, and Michael's guidance will make sure you do not lose your way. What was once unclear will soon become visible, and even paths you feared to tread will reveal blessings along the way. Move forward with the confidence that each step you take is aligned with heaven's plan. Now that the way is becoming clearer, let's ask Michael to shield us from unseen opposition and spiritual interference as we walk forward. Many challenges we face are not obvious at first. Sometimes we encounter unseen resistance, forces working in silence to undermine our peace, progress, and purpose. The Bible tells us, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world." Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. These invisible forces can take many forms: negative influences, discouragement, envy, or spiritual interference. Archangel Michael, as the leader of God's army, stands ready to defend you from every unseen attack, ensuring that no force can hinder the plans God has for your life. Michael's presence acts as both a shield and a sword, pushing back the darkness and creating a barrier between you and the forces working against you. While you may not always see the source of opposition, you can feel its weight, like a heaviness or resistance that makes progress seem harder than it should be. But with Michael guarding your path, these invisible enemies lose their power. He clears the way for you to walk in peace, protected from every spiritual attack. Michael, stand between me and every force that works in secret to harm me. Defend me from spiritual interference, envy, and negativity that seek to disrupt my peace. Raise your shield over my heart and mind, keeping me safe from harm, and remove every influence that does not come from God. Cut through the darkness that surrounds me and remove every hidden threat from my path. Guard my life, my relationships, and my purpose from any attack, visible or unseen. Let your sword of light strike down everything that stands in opposition to God's will for me, and keep me steady as I walk in the protection of God's presence. With each word of this prayer, feel the sense of opposition lifting from your heart. The weight you felt pressing against you begins to fade, replaced by a calm assurance that you are guarded by the might of heaven. No force of darkness can stand against Michael's protection, and with him by your side, you can move forward without fear. Trust that as he defends you, nothing will block the blessings God is bringing into your life. Now that the path is secure, we turn our hearts to the quieter ways God speaks, through dreams, intuition, and gentle whispers of guidance. God speaks in many ways, often through the subtle language of dreams and quiet intuitions. These whispers of wisdom guide us, offering insights that might not make sense in the moment, but later reveal themselves to be exactly what we needed. Scripture assures us of this. In the night, God speaks in dreams, when deep sleep falls on people as they lie in their beds. He whispers warnings to them and shows them what they should do. Job chapter 33, verses 15 to 16. Archangel Michael helps us tune into these divine messages, sharpening our awareness of God's voice in the quiet spaces of life. Michael's guidance helps us notice when God is speaking, even when his messages are subtle. Sometimes, answers come through a sudden thought or a recurring dream, nudging us toward the right decision. Other times we feel a quiet peace about a direction we didn't plan to take, and only later do we understand how perfectly God's hand was at work. Michael helps us embrace these signs and follow them with faith, trusting that God is guiding us every step of the way. Michael, open my heart and mind to receive the wisdom God is speaking to me through dreams and intuition. Let me recognize the quiet whispers of God's guidance and follow them with confidence. Sharpen my spiritual senses so I may discern what is from God and what is not. Help me to rest in God's peace, knowing that He is speaking even when I do not fully understand. Guard my heart from confusion and give me clarity in every message I receive. Let your presence confirm God's guidance and help me move forward with faith, trusting that His wisdom is always leading me toward what is good. As you pray, notice the ways God has already been speaking to you, perhaps through dreams, sudden insights, or unexplainable peace about a decision. These moments are not coincidences, they are divine guidance at work in your life. With Michael's help, you can trust in these signs, knowing that God is leading you in ways beyond what the eye can see. As you grow more attuned to this guidance, you'll find it easier to walk the path God has prepared, Even when the journey feels unexpected, God often works through unexpected situations and unlikely sources. The things we least expect, the struggles, the delays, the closed doors, can become the very moments through which God transforms our lives. As it says in Scripture, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." Romans chapter 8, verse 28. Archangel Michael stands by us in these moments, reminding us that even what seems impossible or undesirable can become a path to renewal and transformation. Michael helps us see the divine plan at work, even when it's wrapped in challenges or comes through people and events we didn't anticipate. He teaches us to release our expectations of how blessings should appear and embrace the idea that God's ways are higher than our own. Often, the greatest transformations occur through the least likely means, unexpected encounters, moments of hardship, or doors we never intended to walk through. With Michael's guidance, we begin to see these situations as opportunities rather than obstacles. Take a moment to reflect on the challenges or detours you're currently facing. Offer these moments to God in prayer, trusting that He can use even the unlikely for your good. Pray, "Michael, help me to see God's hand in every situation, especially in the ones that seem difficult or confusing. Teach me to trust that transformation can come through paths I never expected to walk. Guide me to release my expectations and embrace the journey God has prepared for me. Let me welcome the surprising ways that God's blessings unfold, even when they do not align with my plans. Help me to recognize transformation, even in the unlikely, and trust that God's purpose is always good. Michael, be with me in moments of struggle and confusion. When I feel lost or frustrated, remind me that God is working for my good. Strengthen my faith so that I can walk through every season with hope, knowing that even the unlikely can become a source of divine transformation. Feel the peace of surrender begin to grow in your heart as you pray. Sometimes the greatest blessings come wrapped in unexpected challenges. When we let go of rigid expectations and allow God to move freely, we create space for transformation to take place. With Michael's help, every trial becomes a tool in God's hands, shaping us into something new. As we open ourselves to the surprising ways God works, we also learn to walk in peace, trusting that even the unexpected can lead to joy. The unexpected can often bring anxiety, whether it's a sudden change, an unplanned detour, or an outcome that doesn't align with what we envisioned. Yet God invites us to find peace even when life takes surprising turns. As Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." John chapter 14, verse 27. Archangel Michael brings this peace into our lives, calming our hearts in moments of uncertainty and teaching us to trust in God's presence no matter what happens. Michael's presence reassures us that we are never alone, even when things feel chaotic. His task is not only to protect, but also to remind us of God's constant care. Peace is not the absence of challenges. It is the calm that comes from knowing God is with us in every situation. Michael helps us release the need to control outcomes and teaches us to trust that God's plans are unfolding, even when we can't yet see the full picture. Michael, fill my heart with the peace of God. In the moments when life feels overwhelming or uncertain, calm my spirit and remind me of God's presence. Help me to release my worries and rest in the assurance that God is working everything for good. Guard my mind from fear and anxiety when the unexpected happens. Let me trust that even in the most uncertain moments, God's peace will carry me through. Teach me to walk with confidence, knowing that God's plans are always good, even when they unfold differently than I expected. Michael, stand beside me in the storms of life. When unexpected challenges arise, let your presence remind me that I am never alone. Help me to find peace in the middle of uncertainty and to move forward in faith, trusting that God's peace will guide my steps. As you pray, feel the peace of God begin to settle over your heart. The unexpected will always be part of life, but with Michael's presence, you can navigate these moments without fear. Peace is not about controlling your circumstances, it's about trusting that God is in control. With Michael guarding your heart, you can walk through every season, knowing that even in the unexpected, God's love will never fail. As this peace grows, let's now ask Michael to help us become testimonies of God's surprising blessings, sharing His goodness with others. When God blesses us in surprising ways, it's not just for our benefit, it's also an opportunity to share His goodness with others. The blessings we receive become testimonies, inspiring others to trust in God's timing and ways. As it says in Scripture, "Come and see what the Lord has done, the amazing things He has done for people." Psalm chapter 66, verse 5. Archangel Michael helps us recognize these blessings and encourages us to share our stories, reminding others that God is faithful and full of surprises. Michael's guidance allows us to see how each blessing, no matter how unexpected, fits into God's greater plan. The moments where we once felt lost or discouraged often become the very places where God's glory shines the brightest. Sharing these stories not only strengthens our faith, but also encourages those around us, showing them that God is present even in the most surprising ways. Michael, open my heart to see the testimonies God is building through my life. Help me to recognize every unexpected blessing as a sign of God's love and faithfulness. Give me the courage to share these stories with others, so they too may see the goodness of God. Let every challenge I have overcome become a light for others walking through darkness. Use my experiences to inspire hope and trust in those who are struggling. Help me speak with faith and joy, knowing that my story is part of God's plan to encourage others. Michael, guide me to become a witness of God's surprising blessings. Teach me to share my testimony with humility and gratitude, always pointing others toward God's love. May every story I tell be a reminder that with God, the unexpected always carries the promise of grace. Feel the gratitude begin to fill your heart as you reflect on the ways God has already blessed you. Your life is a testimony of God's faithfulness, and every blessing, expected or not, is a reason to celebrate His goodness. With Michael's guidance, you can share these stories in a way that brings hope to others, showing them that God is present in every moment, even the surprising ones. Now let's ask Michael to prepare our hearts for the new surprises God has yet to reveal, trusting that there is always more ahead. God's blessings are never exhausted, and His plans always exceed what we can imagine. No matter how much we have received, there is always more waiting to unfold. As Scripture promises, "Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us." Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20. Archangel Michael helps us live with an open heart, ready to embrace the new and unexpected ways God will continue to work in our lives. Michael's presence encourages us to stay hopeful, even when the future is unclear. He teaches us to anticipate God's goodness and trust that the journey ahead holds more blessings than we can foresee. Living with this expectation invites more joy and strengthens our faith, reminding us that surprises are part of God's nature. It's in those moments when we feel least prepared that God often shows up in ways that leave us amazed. Michael, prepare my heart to receive all that God has planned for me. Remove any fear or doubt that could block me from embracing the new blessings ahead. Help me to trust that God's surprises are always good, even when they arrive in ways I didn't expect. Guide me to live with joyful expectation, knowing that each day carries the potential for new beginnings. Let my heart be open to the unknown, trusting that God's hand is in everything. Lead me forward with confidence, believing that the best is yet to come. Michael, walk with me as I step into the future. When I feel uncertain, remind me that God's plans are always greater than my imagination. Keep my spirit uplifted, ready to embrace every opportunity and blessing that God reveals. Let me welcome each new surprise as a gift, knowing that with God there is always more to come. As you pray, feel your heart expand with hope and anticipation. Living with an open spirit invites the unexpected into your life, creating room for God to work in surprising ways. Michael's guidance will help you trust in the process, even when you cannot see what lies ahead. Each day becomes an opportunity for new blessings, and every step forward brings you closer to the life God has prepared. With Michael by your side, you can walk into the future with faith, knowing that every surprise carries the promise of God's love and grace. This prayer has taken us through a journey of discovery, uncovering hidden blessings, breaking invisible chains, and trusting in God's perfect timing. Through each step, we have invited Archangel Michael to guide us, protect us, and prepare us for the surprising ways that God works in our lives. These blessings are not limited to what we expect. They often arrive in moments and forms that exceed our understanding. With every prayer, we have opened our hearts to these surprises, welcoming the unexpected as part of God's perfect plan. The beauty of walking with God is knowing that His goodness never ends. Each season of life holds new opportunities, fresh starts, and unexpected gifts. Even when challenges arise, they are not the final word. God's surprises are always waiting just beyond the storm. Michael's presence reminds us that we are never alone, and that heaven is always working on our behalf, even in ways we cannot yet see. Michael, thank you for walking with me through this prayer. Thank you for opening my eyes to the hidden blessings and guiding me through challenges I didn't understand. Help me live every day with a heart open to God's surprises, knowing that with Him, nothing is impossible. Lord, I offer my future into your hands, trusting that your plans are good and your timing is perfect. With Michael at my side, I walk in faith, ready to receive every blessing you have prepared for me. Let my life be a testimony of your grace, and may every surprise I encounter bring me closer to you. Michael, continue to guide my steps and protect my heart. Keep my spirit uplifted and my eyes focused on the goodness of God. Let me live in joyful expectation, knowing that the best is yet to come and that every surprise along the way is a gift from heaven. As you close this time of prayer, carry with you the knowledge that God's blessings are not limited by what you can see. Every step you take is guided by His love, and with Michael's protection you are prepared for whatever lies ahead. Live each day with a heart open to surprises, knowing that God delights in working in ways beyond our imagination. The journey ahead is filled with possibility, and with heaven walking beside you, there is no limit to the good that awaits.